Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I just have a really quick everyday makeup tutorial for you, and I gave you some tips and tricks as far as everyday makeup, how to save time. And yeah, I just wanted to sit down and let you guys know what my current daily makeup routine looks like. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieve this look, what it is that I do, then please keep watching this video. Hey guys, so we are barefaced. I'm actually getting ready for some clients that I have today. So I thought I would sit down and film and show you guys just what my daily makeup has been. So brushing out my hair because I haven't brushed it today. I'm gonna clip it back so that's not in my way. So I do want to start off by saying that when you have a really great skincare routine and you keep up with your skincare routine and you get regular facials, you will notice that you will need less daily makeup, which has been the case for me, which kind of made me want to sit down and talk to you guys about my current daily makeup routine, because I've noticed that since I've been taking better care of my skin, I give myself chemical peels every 3 weeks. And in between, I do give myself regular facials where I clean my skin very nicely, exfoliate, give myself a nice mask, extractions and things like that. So when you do have a really great skincare routine, you will notice that you need less makeup. So just a pro tip from me to you, make sure that you have a great skincare routine and that you are getting regular facials if you would like to look flawless on a daily. So I'm going to start off by using some SPF. I'm using the Supergoop Glow Screen SPF. And it's really important that you use SPF on a daily basis to ensure that you are protecting your skin from the sun. And even if you are staying home, you have sun coming in through your windows and things like that, and from your devices. So just make sure that you are protecting your skin, even though you think that you may not need it. You absolutely do need it, and you will notice a great difference in your skin once you start applying regular SPF. Now, for my daily makeup, I kind of like to multi-use some products. So you'll see me do that very often here. I don't feel like I need foundation really, so I'm just gonna go in with some concealers. I'm going to use the Rare Beauty concealer because it's a little bit closer to my skin tone. I'm just going to apply this really in any areas where I want just a little bit of coverage over some blemishes and some darkness here and some redness. So then I'll take the Juvia's Place concealer in the shade number 19, and it's a slightly brighter tone for me. So I'm just gonna apply this kind of like in the inner corners of my eyes, just like that, and anywhere where I want to highlight. And I actually don't blend it out immediately. I do wait for it to set a little bit, stay put. That kind of helps alter the coverage slightly. If you leave the concealer on a little bit, you let it sit for a few and then it will have more coverage. So that's one thing that I like to do for my daily makeup. And then I will just take a Japanesque brush. This is a 713 brush. And I'm just going to blend it out. And as you can see, I'm blending out the concealer, going with the lightest shade. I'm going down, and then I'm working my way out to the more, to the concealer that's more my skin tone. And so this is basically going to be what we do for base. I'm not applying any foundation, and you'll see that it really doesn't need it because you already look kind of put together for an everyday kind of look. So that's that. I do make sure to get in here into my inner corners and a little bit on my brow bone and lid, just to counteract or cancel out any darkness. I don't go in a lot of product on there because I don't want my eyelids to crease throughout the day. But I do just want to cover up a little bit of the darkness, so I'll just go in with whatever is left over on my brush. As you can see, a little bit of product goes a long way, so you do not need a ton of concealer here. And you can already see that we're looking better. So now that we've got everything blended out, you can see the skin looks very nice and hydrated and doesn't have too much product on it, but it still looks like it's got some coverage to it. It doesn't cover super heavy, like you can still see some of my breakouts here, But since it's an everyday makeup look, I really don't mind that those things peek through. I'm just gonna go in with my damp sponge really quickly just to blend out any creases that may have happened in that time. So just make sure everything is nice and blended. I'm gonna take a cream blush. This is Rare Beauty in the shade Joy. I'm just going to press it on a few drops onto my palette here. And I'm gonna use my beauty sponge. I'm gonna use the fat side here and just pat it into my skin. These blushes are extremely pigmented. That's just gonna give us a really nice flush to the skin. I do like to run whatever excess I have over the bridge of my nose, just to give me like a little flush to my skin. Kind of looks like I've been out in the sun. And so then I'm just gonna take some powder. I'm using our CMA No Color powder. I'm just gonna use a really light hand of this just to set the concealer under my eyes, because that's where I notice it tends to crease slightly. And I can get oily throughout the day on the sides of my nose. And if you feel like you lost some of your blush, you can always just go in slightly with a light hand and go right over it. Sometimes the powder can wash away some of the blush. Alrighty, and then I'm gonna take some bronzer just very lightly, taking the Juvia's Place bronzing palette, and I'm gonna take this nice shade here, and I'm just gonna pat it through. Since we don't have a ton of powder on, I don't recommend you do swiping actions at first. Just kind of like pat it first, and then once you have some decent product and you want to blend it through, then use a swiping motion. But if you don't do that at first, you could disrupt the coverage. I am going to bring some of my bronzer to the middle portion of my face, just very lightly. So I'm going to run some on the sides of my nose here. I'm going to take some of that same bronzer on a blending brush from Morphe, and I'm just going to run it through my crease. So this is when I say that I like to repurpose products sometimes, especially when I'm doing my everyday makeup. I'll use bronzer for eyeshadows, I'll use blushes for eyeshadows, highlights for eyeshadows, and things like that. So it's really just whatever you feel like doing in the moment, whatever's quickest for you, whatever you think looks nice. And it actually makes your face look very cohesive when you use, face products in the eyes. Everything just looks put together. I'm just gonna use a little bit more bronzer. I feel like on my cheeks I want a little bit darker, so I'm gonna use Bahama Mama bronzer from The Balm. That Juvia's Place bronzer is a little bit too natural for what I want here, so I'm just gonna bring in a little bit more bronzer. I know, I'm a bronzer fiend. I love bronzer. Just a touch of blush just to set our cream blush. I'm using Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Party. And I'm just patting that through very lightly. I'm gonna use a very light hand of a very natural highlight on my Morphe brush and just run that on the tops of my cheekbones and into my brow bone here, just so we can have like some cute glow. Run that on the tip of my nose, cheekbones. I like to run a lot through my brow because the light hits that really pretty. And then I'm just gonna take some on my finger even, and I'm just gonna run that over my lid. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows now. So I'm taking my MAC brow pencil and I'm going to just lightly fill my brows. I'm not gonna go too crazy with this. I don't want my brows to look too harsh. So I just kind of mainly fill in the areas that need it. Usually when I do maybe the more glam kind of look, I will go a little bit heavier with my brows. But for this look, I'm just gonna run it through the areas of sparseness, which for me tends to be like the tail of the brow, and a little bit in the front end, and I go upwards just to make sure that it looks kind of feathered and natural. And I go in with my brush very frequently just to make sure that the product is blended through and we don't have any harshness there. Sometimes when people wear like really harsh makeup during the daytime, it looks kind of like very surprising, you know, you're kind of like, whoa, that's a lot, you know, very harsh for the daytime. So, and when you have everything else pretty light, you want to keep the brows light. If you do them too dark, it's just gonna look very stark and kind of strange. I'm just gonna run also some brown eyeliner into my waterline and my tight line, just so that I have some kind of color there. My eyelashes are very blonde, so I need some kind of like separation there. So I'm just gonna run this through. As you can see, that already makes a difference with my eyes. I have some definition to my lash line already, so that's nice. So then what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I will just curl my eyelashes. And I really like this, especially for the daytime, because you know, since we have a really light eyeshadows on, barely any eyeshadows, this is making sure that they're curled. Your lashes look very pretty and stand out more. I'm just gonna apply some Estee Lauder mascara. Here's a pro tip: if you're someone that touches your lashes to your eyes very often, put your mirror down and look down into your mirror while you do your mascara. And that way you will not touch your eyelid space, or at least diminish it by a lot. So that's a little pro tip from me. So we have our mascara on, our top and bottom lashes already looking more put together. So for the lips, that kind of changes depending on the season for me. Sometimes I'll do it more nude, sometimes I'll do it a little bit darker. I try not to go too dark with my lips, especially when it's an everyday makeup look. But I'm saying like the tones kind of change depending on the season. Since we're in the spring, I'm gonna use like a really pretty pink shade. So I'm using NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in the shade Vanilla Cream Pie. I really love these glosses from NYX. They're so beautifully hydrating. So there's a really pretty pink color. And so yeah, that finishes the look. So it's just a really simple everyday makeup look that you can do in probably less than 15 minutes. Obviously for me, I took a little bit longer because I'm talking you through it. But it's just like a really pretty look, and make sure that you take care of your skin, because the better your skincare routine and how often it is that you do your facials is how much makeup you are going to see that you need during the day. So that's one thing that I really want to emphasize to you guys. It really just boosts your confidence when you have great looking skin. So highly recommend that you guys do that. And yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to see more of my videos. And also make sure to check out the description box below. I will try to link any products that I've used today in case you would like to purchase them and support my channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.